Hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So it's pig feeding day, time to feed pigs, and we want to show y'all a couple of things that we implement here to, number one, save us money, number two, save us time, because we all need more time. But hang out with us for a little bit. Let's show you what we got going on, how we use these tools to feed our pigs and make life on the farm a little bit easier. All right, so we want to talk a little bit about some of the tools and materials that we use to save us time and to save us money here on the farm when dealing with feeding our pigs. And I know some of you may not have the equipment necessary to do all of this, but if you do, something to consider, or maybe you can do it on maybe a little smaller scale. This works for us, not the final end-all be-all way of doing managing pig feed, but it is one way and it works out good for us. First tool is these. We buy our pig feed from a distributor in 2,000-pound sacks. These are called super sacks, and I think we get typically 6 to 8 per delivery, and they deliver about every 2.5 to 3 weeks, something like that. We also split part of our load with another farmer. So they bring these up, we unload them here. So we've got basically 2,000 pounds of feed per bag. Now, y'all may or may not know, we also feed our broiler chickens this same ration. Doesn't have calcium in it because we don't let those birds get to the age that they really need the extra calcium for eggs. So we feed hog feed to our chickens. So what we'll do, we've got a brand new bag, we'll open that bag up and we'll bucket feed out of this bag for, a few days until we get down to a partial bag. Then what we'll do, we're going to take what's left, and I'll show you here in just a minute how we do this. We're going to take that partial bag and we're going to load it into this, and this is called a buckhorn box, or at least that's what we call it. Don't know the dimensions on it, but this thing will hold about half a bag on one of these. It'll hold about 1,000 pounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that feed in that box, and we're going to take it up on the mountain and feed it to the pigs. We're going to show you exactly how we do that and the advantages of using the box, taking the box up on the mountain, as opposed to taking a bag. One of which is 2,000 pounds. If we take the tractor, we got to have counterbalance on the back. It'll handle 1,000 pounds fine. If we take it up on the mountain, we got to have a counterbalance on the back, and it's tied up there, so hard to take 1,000 pounds or 2,000 pounds. So why don't we just take half a bag? Let's get this thing loaded up. We'll go up there and unload it. We'll tell you exactly why we don't take half a bag at a time. buckhorn up here, and we're using these bulk feeders. This is a plan, homemade, but we bought the plans from Jordan Green at Farm Builder. I'm gonna post a link in the description down below where you can get these. These things are fantastic. I think we ended up building them for, by the time we bought the materials, with material costs being what they are, and the totes, about 250 bucks. Open at the top. The buckhorn has got a slide gate under the bottom. So what we'll do is we're just going to position this buckhorn right over top of that opening on the bulk feeder. Slide it open, fill the feeder with feed. So the big thing that we discovered with loading feed into the buckhorn, and I know you're probably saying, oh, we didn't quite get it all out. I know you're probably saying, well, why are you putting the extra step in there by getting it out of the bag and putting it into the buckhorn? Well, what we discovered was, when we were bringing those bags up, you've got to lift the entire length of the bag above the opening on the top of the bulk feeder. So you got to get the forks and the bag, and then the bag has got that spout that comes out the bottom. You got to get all that above the top of that feeder to be able to dump it in there. Well, sometimes we would have to tilt the feeder forward, get the spout down in the top of that thing, then untie it to run the feed in. Well, then you got to reach down in there and untie the knots on those things. And those boys, when they're filling them up at the feed mill, I think they tie the craziest granny knot in if they can get in it, don't they, JW? Yeah. They're impossible to get out. But with this, you just got to get the level of the forks above the top of the bulk feeder. And then we've got that chute. We just unlock it, pull the gate, and it runs out. And I didn't quite get it all out. That's no big deal. We got, they ain't even a quarter bucket in there, are they?
5 pounds.
5 pounds. And we bring what? How much is in one of them, you think?
1,000 pounds.
About 1,000 pounds. Yeah. So we can bring 1,000 pounds of feed up the mountain, unload it, and really it's something that one person could do, couldn't they? Yeah. One individual could do it by themselves. So this works out really, really nice. Again, huge cost savings over buying feed in 50-pound bags at a time by buying those big bulk totes. So anyway, that's how the deal works. Love the buckhorn. Don't remember where we bought them. I'll see if Sandra's got a link. If so, I'll post it in the description down below. It is not an affiliate link. We're not making anything at all on that, but we love these things. They've served a lot of purposes. So I don't remember if I said it or not, but we saved quite a bit by buying feeds in these big super sacks. I think we're paying about 26 cents a pound right now, which is, you know, with the cost of things doing what they're doing, feed this year has gone up for us a little over 10%. So I mean, we've seen a significant increase in our feed costs, and I mean, you know, but this is still, like I say, a whole lot cheaper than buying 50-pound bags and messing with those at a time. So, you know, even if you don't have a big tractor, I saw a guy, Jason from Sow the Land. I'll try to find the video and post a link in the description down below. He buys a tote, and then he takes a bucket and scoops that stuff out and puts it over into 55-gallon drums and then feeds out of those. And I think he's splitting a tote with another farmer. So that's a good way to save money. You know, if you don't need the full 2,000 pounds, but you can split it with a neighbor or a friend or something like that, that's a great way to go. You know, we split entire loads with our friend Jamie, so it works out really good. But anyway, I think that's enough for today. Man, it's hot. Still hot in Central North Carolina. I think the heat index today was like 101 or something. But anyway, like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.